World Championship is on. And you're watching round 2 of the World Tour right here, right now in beautiful Innsbruck, Austria.
Well, we're back, people. It's Crankworx time again, and take a look at this place. Look behind us right here, Andrew. This is where the mountains meet the city, beautiful Innsbruck, Austria, and it's where the best mountain bikers in the world meet for stop number 2 of the Crankworx World Tour. 2018 has kicked off great down in the Southern Hemisphere, but it's time for 2 European stops in a row, and we're starting out with one of everybody's favorite disciplines, pump track.
That it is. It's such a fun event for the fans, for the riders. We've got riders from all different disciplines throwing their name in the hat, trying to take that win tonight.
And like Michaela was saying, there's so much fun going on in pump track, but there's also a lot on the line. Don't let us ever forget that there's that quest for the king and queen of Crankworx overall title. All of these events matter so much because they all give away points for that title at the end of the year. And here's a look at our current leaderboard for for the king of Crankworx at the moment.
Yeah, and at the top, Samuel Blenkensop came out firing at the first stop of the Crankworx World Tour, taking wins in the downhill. None other than Mick Hanna, the legend and veteran of the sport. He's sitting in second, another guy that racked up some points in downhill.
A few riders on there, 6th, 5th, and 4th. Somewhere toward the bottom of that list will actually be competing in this event tonight. Here's a look at our queen of Crankworx current standings.
Yeah, we've got Jill Kittner, an obvious pick to take the title at the end of the year. You've got Casey Brown not far behind, Via Verbeek, Tane Seagrav, downhill, and then Kalani Hines is going to be really fast tonight in the pump track.
Well, our reigning king of Crankworx from 2017 is a man who goes by the name of Adrian Lerone. Taking a look at him on your screen right now. He's had some trouble earlier on this year, getting out in an earlier round in Rotorua, and visibly a little shaken by that. You saw him throw his bike. He came back out the next day, but here's a look at his mistake going up against, I believe it was Thomas Lemoyne.
Yeah, so he was pushing hard because Thomas was keeping him honest.
Kyle
and
Strait.
just a big mistake from Adrian. But you could see the frustration and the anger in him, and what is not a great thing to see him throwing the bike, but it shows you how serious he's taking pump track and the king of Crankworx world title that he wants to retain.
And hey, you know what? It shows that he cares. And to find out how much he cares, let's send it down to the 3rd member of our team, Michaela Gatto, who's standing by with Adrian Lerone.
So let's talk a little bit about Rotorua. You had a bit of a tantrum, a little bit of a off course, a little mistake. What happened there?
I got a big mistake because of the light. It was getting down really fast and I didn't pay attention about it. And yeah, nothing too bad, but I think I'm ready to smash it tonight. I will be really careful about this light thing again. And yeah, ready.
Are you going to be wearing your sunglasses the whole time?
I don't think so. It's going to be dark really soon, so I don't need it.
All right, so it'll be floodlights. And I saw you walking the track, looking at lines. How important is line choice in pump track?
This track is really thin, so it's really important to put your wheels exactly what you want to. And when you're really fast, it really matters when where you're riding. So you better choose the right line all the time.
Well, I have confidence in you this time that you are going to absolutely smash it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right on. Thank you, Michaela. Well, look at that strategy. He said a big reason why he had that mistake in Rotorua is because the light was getting dimmer. So why not wear sunglasses during the day so when the sun comes down, your eyes are already adjusted. Now, he's going to have to get through a whole list of really fast pump track riders. One in particular, this man right here, Cheney Gunay.
He won this event last year. He's won again. He must be coming out here. He's really confident. He's qualified faster, so you know he's gunning for the win here.
Yeah, he also won in Leger a few years back, so he's won 2 of these pump track challenges at the Crankworx Festival. Let's see if he can do it again today, but he's going to have to get through this guy right here, Thomas Lemoyne.
I mean, he came out swinging at round 1 in Rotorua and took the win. He's a slope styler, but he's doing pump track, he's doing dual speed and style, and now he's leading the series of the pump track.
Well, there's a little insight on some of these top riders, but the way this format works, it's bracketed, so people get eliminated. So you have to get through some of those tough riders in the middle. But look at those brackets and study them, because this is fantasy Crankworx right here. You got to build your team, you got to spend your money, but don't go over budget. Andrew, have you been playing around with this? You're an expert.
I had a lot of fun this morning, but it's a challenge because you've only got a set budget, so you obviously want to go for one of the top guys, but then you've spent a lot of your budget for the year. So you've got to be smart about it. I'm not going to give away all my picks, but My man Cheney Gannett is on my fantasy league team.
So it's
tonight.
still live, still available for you to get on there and build your team. We're going to shut it down pretty quick, so get on there and take this insight to build your team. You might win some big prizes. Well, this pump track race, this is an interesting format. For those of us out there who haven't actually watched one of these races before, how does the format work, Andrew?
Well, you've got no chain, so you can't pedal. 26-inch wheels. It's a time trial qualifier format, and then we're going to get top 16 men and our top 8 women. They are going to race against each other, but on 2 different tracks, and then they're going to swap over, combine the times, and from there, it's obviously the head-to-head battle that I was talking about.
And only one rider can make it out of each run. So the brackets were determined based off of those seeding times. So you have your slowest riders going against your fastest riders, but what you see is a lot of times the fastest riders on a collision course for each other. The first and the second don't always meet in the finals because they have to get through all the riders from the middle of the pack, and anything can happen.
And I think one of the biggest questions is, can anyone beat Jill Kittner this year?
That is the big question that everybody is wondering right now. I mean, Caroline Buchanan was her arch rival in pump track. They would trade wins. Caroline is still out, but there is one rider who looks poised to do it.
I'm so glad you mentioned it. It's Kalani Hines. She came out so fast at round 1 in Road to Ruhr, and maybe tonight is just the time for her to get that elusive win.
Well, second place qualifying ranking for Keilani Hines, who you're looking at on your screen right now, and the big number 1 next to Jill Kittner. Will they be on a collision course, sitting at opposite ends of those brackets? But like we said, it's a long way to get there to the finals. You might as well take a look at that women's bracket right now. How's it looking?
Well, you've got Jill Kittner against the all-rounder Casey Brown, Valentina Hoa via Verbeek, and then, like we said, down near the bottom, Kalani Hines is going to be a big challenge to Jill Kittner. And like you can see, they're on a collision course if everything goes to plan.
And this is the way the brackets look for the men. This is a field of 16, so a handful more rounds in this run. But what's standing out to you when you look at these brackets?
Well, our top seed, Cheney Gannett, is going against Bernardo Cruz. But you've got people like Martin Sonderstrom, Tovis Slavik. Then we've got the new crowned BMX World Champion is here. And then obviously Adrian Laurent at the bottom. And if all goes to plan, we're going to have that fairy tale matchup of Cheney Gannett against fellow Frenchman Adrian Laurent.
So that would be very interesting. We'll have to see if that's going to happen. But in pump track, it is so incredibly hard to predict. But this is the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge. Stick around because we're going to be dropping that gate soon.
We're trying to make a drivetrain that works better. We're trying to improve upon the things that we had done.
Introducing the all-new SRAM GX Eagle drivetrain. No matter what kind of rider you are or the kind of terrain you might ride, Eagle is simply the best. GX Eagle drivetrains have a range of gears that rival or flat out beat most 2x systems. Engineered in Germany, made for the world. This is GX Eagle.
This is Valley Hole. She's 16 years old. This is what Valley does. This is Valley's RockShox Boxer. It's a fork that's been more than 20 years in the making, which means
Hij waait nog gar niet auf der Welt.
that doesn't matter. We built a new boxer for now. History is most important when you learn from it. Boxer is best when you ride it.
Crankworx Innsbruck, brought to you by Tyrol, home of professional sports. Well, we're getting close to action here, and these two gentlemen, a lot of eyes on them right now, especially if you're carefully crafting your Crankworx fantasy team. We're looking at Adrien Lerone and Thomas Lemoyne.
You're going to want one or even not two of those guys on your team.
Well, it's time to stop messing around, Andrew Neethling. The sun is setting. We got riders in the gate. This is the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge, and it starts right now.
This whole week is going to be action-packed full of events. It's so unique having a gigantic city in this alpine environment.
Nobody has any room for air here. This is where he's going to shine.
Pretty neck and neck here. Caroline's looking good. She's going to take it.
The crowd was awesome. Must feel like I'm back at Olympic.
This is unreal. Just sending us to the moon. It's so sick.
What a huge run. We could have a new leader here.
Is this the best football contest ever? Oh, man.
Dude, it doesn't get much better than that.
Well, it's pump track time. You can feel it. The crowd's starting to honk their vuvuzelas, slam their handlebars against their empty rims, make noise like us mountain bikers make noise, right?
Exactly that. I heard you say vuvuzelas. I hope they're out in force. I'm really looking forward to this. The sun is setting. We're in the beautiful Innsbruck.
Duck! No, sorry. No, I just meant the duck. Don't be squatting. I've never seen a duck blow a vuvuzela.
I've seen lots of things blow a vuvuzela, but not a duck. Lots of
there's a lot
crazy
of
stuff
firsts.
happens in South Africa. But before that,
all right, so take a look at this bracket right now. We're going to get to start things off right, watching Cheney Gonnet go against a downhill specialist, Bernardo Cruz. But look at this. We talk about those potential collision courses in this bracketed format. Who do we see down there at the very bottom, Needles?
well, Adrien Lerone, but before Cheney Gonnet gets to him, he's probably going to end up going against Lemoyne if things go to plan for both those riders.
Well, you can have a plan. Everybody has one until you get punched in the face. That's what Mike Tyson
One of
said.
my most favorite quotes of all time, and that sums up pump track racing as well.
And right now, this could potentially be a punch to the face of Cheney Gonnet if Bernardo Cruz, a downhill specialist who came out here to race and obviously qualified well, he's sitting here against Cheney Gonnet, made it through the rounds. If he can knock out Gonnet, that'll be an absolute upset.
That'll be a turn for the books. It's going to be a tough ask for him. He's great on a downhill bike, can do his street racing, but this is a whole different format. And they are out the gate. Cheney Gonnet already with a wheel ahead. He's just so much class here in pump track. I'm going to look for him to take it pretty easy through these heats because he knows he's got the speed, so all he has to do is keep it on two wheels, and he does just that.
Well, he has to maintain a comfortable margin between himself and Bernardo Cruz. He does that with a 0.4. Still not that comfortable. Bernardo definitely holding his own, but the way this is going to work is they're going to go back up to the top. They're going to switch courses. Bernardo would have to beat Cheney Gonnet by more than 0.4 of a second in order to advance into that next bracket.
So Cheney Gonnet is opting for a lot of manuals there on the first straight. He's really driving that back wheel down the backside of the rollers and really generating a lot of pace that way.
But you talk about pace, and it is true. You do want to pace yourself. This is a long event.
Well, as I said, he's probably going to take it a little bit easier than he will do in the final to maintain some energy.
Well, this next matchup, the guy on the left side of your screen, his name is Martin Soderstrom. He's got a whole lot of Crankworx medals sitting in his room. The guy on the right, Luca Cometti, a downhill racer. So another situation where we can have a massive upset.
Yeah, still making a name for himself in the downhill side, but he's come out here to pump track. But Martin Soderstrom, everyone's favorite Swede, but he's got so much Crankworx hardware, and now he's switching over and focusing more on pump tracks, dual speed and style. For such a lanky guy, he's really so smooth and efficient on a bike. Looking quite neck and neck though, you know, Luca Cometti, this is going to be one of the tightest races we see all night. That is your number 8 seed Luca Kamedi against Marna Soderson, who's number 9 seeded. It makes sense when you see it's 0.06. So that's only 6 100ths going into the next round when they'll switch courses.
Well, check it out. Luca is a racer, and Martin Soderstrom, his main event has always been slopestyle. He doesn't compete in slopestyle anymore, but he comes out to these Crankworx festivals and absolutely kills it in speed and style and pump track. He gets out there for the whip off. So no surprise there that Luca Kamedi can hang because this is a race. But Martin, he's placed well in these events before, so you know he wants to make it through this round. So right now you're looking at our brackets. If you see a rider's name lit up in yellow, that means they have the advantage going up into their second round.
So we've got a Dutch national BMXer against a German 4-cross champion. So these guys are going to have pretty similar techniques. They're probably brute powerhouses, so expect for this to be a tight matchup as well. It's great to see these different formats and guys coming to Crankworx.
Benedict last on the right side of your screen. He's that German 4-cross national champion. And then Niels Bensink on the right, a BMXer.
And there's a slippery salmon out the gate. It's something I saw on Road to Rio, but you guys missed. This is neck and neck, but he's actually a little bit ahead there, Niels. Coming down the final straight. He's pulled back some yards, but he's stayed ahead.
Oh, the slippery salmon seems to work. Look at that. Niels Bensink, the winner of this round by 0.2. Well, check it out, Andrew. Whether you're a professional rider out here competing or you're a commentator like us, we have one general rule of thumb, and that is don't read the comments on Pinkbike because you might see something that you don't like.
And guaranteed you probably will see something you don't like. So yeah, that is pretty much the #1 rule.
So take a look at this. I don't read the comments, but you know, some of our lovely staff here at Boombox weaned this one out for us, found it. From Cat Weasel. It says Needles needs to call in and tell Cam and Bernard that the wiggle start is called the slippery salmon. I didn't think they... Do you think they didn't watch last year?
Oh, well, that's hilarious. That's the one time I can take back the rule. That's nice that he noticed that. So the slippery salmon, they're starting from dead stop. No chain, no nothing. So they're trying their best to get a bit of momentum. And he's obviously using a technique I've seen in ice skating where you kind of go and you weave, you go back and forth. So he's weaving the front wheel to try gain some traction to go forward.
It makes a lot of sense. We talk so much about maintaining your momentum. It's all about pumping, but pumping isn't just vertical. Down in the bowls, you can actually go horizontally back and forth to generate some speed. And when you're starting without a chain, you got to do whatever you can think of.
So this is the battle of the world champion. We've got the newly crowned BMX world champion in Sylvain Andre against a former 4-cross world champion, Thomas Slavik. So this is a bit of the BMX against the new school mountain bike man, as in Slavik. What are we going to see? They're pretty neck and neck in that back turn.
Whoa.
This is one for the books. This is going to be tight coming in finish, but no. Sylvain has really shown his BMX class and stepped it up on that back straight.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the replay because it looked like Slavik may have had a mistake in that back berm, which is a left-hander for the course that he was on. You talk about him being a former 4-cross world champion. He was also the king of Crankworx a couple years ago.
That's great you picked that up because Slavik is number 4 seed. So let's see how his run went. He looks good here. He's manualed in. He's run a little bit late and he's gone almost off track. So you're totally right, Cam. It's unlike him to make a mistake, especially so early in the round. And against a competitor, the BMX world champion, he's going to have his work cut out in the next round.
Well, look how close he was despite that mistake. So that will be one of those rounds we're really eager to watch when they switch sides.
That is really disappointing because he's got about 0.7 to make up there. It's going to be a tall order.
All right, next bracket in the gate. On the left side of your screen, we have Austin Bubba Warren. And then from the slopestyle realm, but the guy who won Rotorua just a couple months ago, Thomas Lemoyne on the right side of your screen.
And Austin Warren with an incredible 3rd place in qualifying, so he showed some speed on this track. Thomas Lemoyne, not as sparky as he was at the first round of Rotorua when he went on to win it.
Well, keep in mind, he was also practicing for slopestyle and speed style today, also doing qualifying for pump track. He may have been saving something for this race right here.
Maybe that, he maybe didn't get a lot of practice in, but something which is great is you get 2 runs per heat, obviously, and you can start picking up some speed towards the end of the day.
Wow, very, very tight margin, the tightest we've seen so far. The winner being Austin Warren by only 0.04 over Thomas Lemoyne.
Yeah, it's something great that you brought up there. He's obviously doing a lot of discipline, which is great to see, but maybe he's kind of splitting his time between practice, kind of easing into the pump track, and maybe he's going to find some speed later in the evening. So coming up, Morgan Rott, Keegan Wright, Keegan, a former winner of a pump track. We've still got Bassman Steenbergen, and obviously Adrian Long sitting down there at the bottom.
So Keegan Wright right there in the gate, and everybody loves showing up to Austria. All the stops on the Crankworx World Tour, there's a lot to do. Keegan definitely making the most of his time here in Innsbruck. Take a look.
When I was about 6 years old, it's pretty much what got me into racing. A good friend of mine just gave me one of his old mountain bike, and it's the best decision I've ever made. I wake up every day and can't wait to get out riding. I was strolling through the Innsbruck city and having a bit of a look around, and I stumbled across the skate hall with the climbing wall and the skate park. So yeah, I thought I'd go and have a bit of a play around for the day. It's awesome with the university here. It's like a real young, cool vibe going on. Even on a rainy day like today, you can still kind of go out and with the like indoor skate park and stuff like that, and get out and do stuff. And there's just such a cool kind of happy atmosphere going on here. It's insane, man. I just really enjoy like being in the mountains here. You can go out and trail ride, and I just enjoy being in these different destinations, and it's pretty cool. I only really just got into mountain biking, and yeah, I saw that it was a massive mountain bike festival, and I was like, oh, why not? It's in my hometown, I might as well give it a go.
Keegan right on the left. Oh my God, Keegan gained so much speed. Keegan gets the other pole. Look at this. Keegan Wright's gonna grab the silver.
Stoked with the second place, and second's first loser, so you know the next year I was striving for that win, and yeah, it worked out for the best.
Keegan Wright made up the time. Keegan wins the gold medal out here, the Pump Track Challenge, presented by RockShox.
Yeah, still hungry for more.
You can see right there that kid has what it takes because he's done it before. He's won one of these events, and it's great to see him enjoying his time here in Innsbruck. Such a rad place to hang out. But right now it's, you know, fun and games. We're gonna leave that as a memory because it's race time. Keegan Wright on the right side of your screen going up against Marcin Rott, coming from a dirt jump background.
Yeah, Keegan Wright is obviously used that result and some of his enduros, and he's picked up a factory ride, so he's got even more support. So sometimes with support comes more pressure to deliver those results that you expect of yourself. But he's leading. Oh, it's very tight actually. I see it leading, but no way.
Marcin Rott from Poland squeaking through by 0.03. So that's now the tightest margin we've seen in any of these heats.
That is too. Keegan Wright qualified 6th, and Marcin only qualified 11th. So by Wright's on paper, Keegan should be ahead. His run looks pretty consistent. A little bit late there in that turn like we saw that came out of Slavik in the previous round.
Well, it's interesting in pump track, you see a lot of riders coming from different backgrounds. Keegan has that racing background, but we got this dirt jump slope style kid right here. And dirt jumping is all about carrying speed, carrying momentum, especially if you ride trails. Showing right there that that skill set, that background, definitely has a place here on this pump track.
Yeah, it's great. Crankworx is such a stage for these unknown or people that we haven't seen a lot to make a name for themselves.
Well, let's get back up to the top for more racing. We've got Noel Niederberger on the right and Bas van Steenbergen on the left.
Two amazing all-round bike handlers, Noel Niederberger and Bas, both doing World Cup downhill, but also really great bike handlers and fast on pump track. Even out the gate here, let's see what they've got. I love Bas's style. He's very calculated and smooth type of rider. Noel Niederberger himself, no slouch on a pump track. Noel looks like he's got a little bit of, no.
Oh, Bas!
That turn to me is a bit deceiving. It looks like he's ahead, but then Bas is carrying a lot more speed into finish straight.
Bas van Steenbergen by 1/4 of a second right there. These are two guys who have great style on a bike, and style comes from efficiency, having control over that bike, putting those wheels exactly where they need to be in that training. Look at that slow-mo replay.
Yeah, he's really driving those feet and heels into the backside of those rollers and generating speed up that hill. Like you said, I'm a big fan of Bas and Noel. Great bike handlers and just all-round masters of a mountain bike.
Well, I love the way this format goes because I keep peeking at these brackets right here, knowing who they might be facing next. Bas van Steenbergen and Noel Niederberger, who you just saw. Bas in the yellow with the advantage. The winner will have to face the winner of this round right here between Adrian Lerone and Brage Evanson Vestovic. And this is what we're talking about here. There could be a bracket breaker. We're pumping up Lerone, seeing if he can meet up with Cheney Gounet in the finals, but he's got to get through Vestovic first.
Yeah, you've still got to ride very consistent, because one little mistake can put you out and you'll be in the showers earlier than you want to be.
Even though you probably need one.
You definitely, by this stage, people have been practicing and qualifying all day.
Well, the showers can wait. The gate has dropped.
Adrian Lerone with a bit of a gap out of the gate. Braj, though, no slouch on the bike. A young up-and-coming Norwegian downhiller, powerhouse. But Adrian showing his class as the reigning king of Crankworx and the Pump Track Series winner.
Lerone, Emmanuel through the finish line, tripping the lights, 1.26 between these two riders right now. So Lerone appears to be on point.
He does, just that. You know, he's qualified second, so that's within reach of chaining a net. So everything's going to come down to that fairy tale ending if these brackets go the way they want.
You know, some days you just wake up and you feel good on your bike. It looks like it's one of those days for Adrian Lerone. He just looks casual and efficient. Well, taking a look right there, see Adrian Lerone had the advantage there. That's the biggest advantage we've seen so far out of any of these brackets. But we've seen some tight ones too, so I can't wait till they get back up to the top.
We have, like Martin Sonnerstrom and Luca Cometti. That's going to be a great one when we come back and we pick up the racing.
Well, there we go. This is the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge, and we're going to be getting them back up to the top for more racing underway. Don't go anywhere.
We're trying to make a drivetrain that works better. We're trying to improve upon the things that we had done.
Introducing the all-new SRAM GX Eagle drivetrain. No matter what kind of rider you are or the kind of terrain you might ride, Eagle is simply the best. GX Eagle drivetrains have a range of gears that rival or flat out beat most 2x systems. Engineered in Germany, made for the world. This is GX Eagle.
We all want to find our own path in life. Push past our fears, our daily twists and turns. If we keep going, something changes. That's when we find ourselves and realize there is no truer path.
SRAM, the power of bicycles. Kenda, tires since 1962. If you're just joining us and you're trying to figure out where this beautiful backdrop lies on the world, and here's a look at our map, zeroing right in to a town called Innsbruck, Austria, where the mountain meets the city. Check this place out, Andrew.
And the capital of the Alps for very good reason. I love how you're in a city, you've got the city vibe, you've got the shops, you've got the restaurants, but within seconds and minutes, you're in the mountains just away from everything.
That's what we're talking about. It's crazy. Most of these European villages, you have that village feel. You kind of have it all in this spot where you got the city, you got little villages surrounding the gondolas, and then now we have a Crankworx festival here.
It's almost the best of both worlds, if you ask me.
It's a great spot. All these riders excited to be here, and we're excited to watch them race. We've got run number 2 of the round of 16. This is heat number 1 with Bernardo Cruz. He's got a little room to make up there, 0.4 going up against, we've been hyping up all day, Cheney Gounet. on the collision course for Adrian Lerone, but can he make it there?
And he's out the gate. Cheney cannot let up here though. It's only 0.4, so you know he's got to put in a smooth, consistent run. But if Bernardo Cruz can put some pressure on him, he could force a mistake. It's not looking that way though, Cam.
Well, there you have it. Bernardo Cruz, more accustomed to a track that is very, very steep down a hill with a whole lot of suspension, but great to see him out here competing. That will be it for his day of racing. Cheney Cunet moves on to the next round. Well, what's working for this guy, Andrew? Let's take a look at a replay. Explain to me why he's so efficient, why he made that look so easy.
Well, pretty much everything. You can just see how smooth and calculated it is. Like I said, he's really using the manual technique. Even there, a hop to manual. So he's really keeping that back wheel glued to the ground for more speed.
Well, he makes it look easy. It makes you wonder what's going on inside that helmet. Luckily, we got Michaela Gatto standing by with Cheney Cunet.
All right, Cheney, you came second in Rotorua. Have you changed anything? Is anything going to be different for this time?
No, all the same for me. Just the track is really different, more technical for me. I prefer it's more the same like in my backyard, so it's cool.
So this is similar?
Yeah. I hope to be on the box here today.
Perfect. Well, we're all cheering for you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michaela. Yeah, of course he's hoping to be on the top of the box. It's a long road there. But Cheney Cunet, the first rider we placed in that round of 8 column right there. And we're going to be looking to add another name going up against Cheney. This is going to be Martin Soderstrom on the right side of your screen versus Luca Cometti. You're looking at him over there on the left. Martin behind by 0.06 of a second.
Basically a dead heat, Cam. It is really all to play for in this round, and we knew it was going to happen with your number 8 seed Luca, number 9 seed Martin. Good starts by both of them, so nothing to worry about there. It's all about putting some pressure on that opponent and forcing a mistake. But if anything, Martin really needs to get going here. Has he done it? Looks like he's got enough.
It's going to be close. He did it. 0.18. He only had to make up a third of that. So there we go. It equates down to 0.12. Martin Soderstrom will move on to the next round. This guy is so good under pressure. In that situation right there, that's a lot of pressure.
That's all mental. Like we said, those guys qualify basically the same. So what does it come down to? Dealing with pressure at that time when the race is on. But good news, he's through. Bad news, he's got Cheney Cunet in the next round, our number 1 seed.
Well, Martin Soderstrom could potentially be our bracket beater, getting in the way of that collision course, that hypothetical collision course we've been talking about between Cheney Cunet and Adrian Lerone. Martin Soderstrom, a very, very decorated Crankworx athlete from a multitude of different disciplines, most notably slopestyle. Can you get another one here today? All right, next round in the gate. We've got Niels Bensink against Benedict Last. Benedict Last over there on the left side of your screen has 0.2 to make up. We've got 2 riders coming from different disciplines, very decorated in their respective realms.
Yeah, German four-cross champion against a BMXer that is on the Dutch national team. So both great riders in their own right. Big slippery salmon there by Niels. Let's hope it works, because I like that technique. As funny as it does look, it often does work.
It's efficient.
What do we have here coming to the final straight? Man, Benedict Last has got the win, but is it enough? Yes, he does it by only 0.07. Only 700ths a second, but he will be advancing.
He's sitting there going, wait, what was my disadvantage again? Did I make it? So a couple come from behinds right there. 2 in a row. We told you at the top of the show that that's the reason why Fantasy Crankworx is fun. It's because it's so unpredictable. You can have your favorites. You can know who statistically might be thought to do better, but stuff like this can happen. You see people making up those advantages once they rack them up at the top of the course again for run number 2. And here, run number 2 between these two guys, Thomas Slavic on the left. Sylvain Andre, the BMX world champion, just won that about a month ago.
And this was one turn up for the books. Slavic, another mistake by him, and that is all she wrote. But, however, that looks like a gate malfunction, so you would think and hope that he gets another run. That gate did not drop. So we'll have to see what the judges say, and if there'll be a rerun. Sylvain having a good time. He doesn't know what's going on. Slavic's just gone over the bars in the start.
Well,
something you never want to see.
What we really need to do is go have a slow-mo replay of that, because we've got to figure out if he was putting too much pressure on it and it didn't drop for that reason. No, it just looked like it didn't drop. It's not like he tried to pick up over it.
Unfortunately, we're going to have a closer look, but it looks like the one getting part goes, but not the other one. Oh man, insult to injury. He's got to make up 0.7. They won't even drop the gate. He's excited to take on Sylvania.
Let's listen in.
I mean, he's clearly not happy. He's got a bit of work to do on his bike before we rack him again.
Well, they're going to have to figure out if that was a gate malfunction or if he did something wrong to make that gate not drop. What they do is they release those magnets, the gate drops, you're off and running, but you can see in that replay, the one on the right side of the screen was still holding on. We're gonna need an expert on that gate to figure out if it has some sort of mechanism that doesn't let it drop if you try to jump it.
Definitely, and they better not ask me or you to go figure that out. That is not our forte.
Well, now that you got a little bit of time on your hands, you're sitting at your couch, you're in the right place doing the right thing, you're watching the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge, you might as well take this opportunity to book your VIP passes for Red Bull Joyride in Whistler, British Columbia for the last stop of the Crankworx World Tour. It's where it all started, and it's where the biggest crowd shows up every year, the highest point of energy in mountain biking, I would say.
That's easy to say that. I mean, that's where Crankworx became famous, right in Whistler at the Joyride.
Well, we're gonna let Slavic figure out his gear, get that stem straightened and tightened, let them figure out if they're gonna give him a rerun or not. Until then, we're gonna move on into the next round. So we've been talking a lot about Thomas Lemoyne, competes in so many events, but what does he do when somehow he comes up with a break in his schedule here on a rainy day in Innsbruck? He gets on the cycle trainer, he goes to the skate park, he goes and checks out the local restaurants.
That's one of my favorite places, the Indingo or whatever it is called. It's quite near the hotel. This is pretty nice that on a rainy day, these guys can go keep sharp on their bikes. They've obviously got slope style, dual speed and style. It's kind of a low-risk way to practice for them in these indoor parks.
Well, I can see why Thomas Lemoyne competes in so many events, because even on a day when he has nothing to do, he does all of that.
And keeping sharp, I mean, that's just bike skills, you know. An all-round bike rider is going to be good at pump track. And that brings us to this next heat. We've got Austin Warren, a real all-round rider, surprising me a bit with a third-place qualifier. Great rider, and he's showing some serious speed here tonight. Thomas Lemoyne, not far off him, even though he was a bit slow in qualifying, only in 14th position.
Well, Austin Warren is a well-rounded rider in his own right, competing in downhill, but also riding speed and style and pump track.
So this one, it's all going to come down to who basically crosses the line first here. So this is really exciting. Who's got the lead here? And Thomas Lemoyne, either fatigued from a long day or just making mistakes, pushing too hard. So he'll be out. He'll save some energy for dual speed and style tomorrow. But Austin Warren will be moving on.
Well, let's take a look back at that replay and find out what went wrong here for Thomas Lemoyne.
Looking good till now. He's manualing into the turn. He's just bumped a little bit on his front wheel, and he's ridden a little bit high, then he's kind of just given up. He's not carrying that speed that he really needed to, and he obviously saw Austin was a little bit ahead.
Well, let's take a look back at our brackets. We've been saying that Thomas Lemoyne could potentially be that speed bump in between Cheney Gounet and Adrien Laurent. Well, now it's looking like it might be Austin Warren as he advances out of that round. And who will he be facing? We're about to find out. So only a .03 separates these two riders. Marcin Rott out of Poland with the advantage against Keegan Wright on the left side of your screen.
We're a bit surprised at Marcel taking the lead here in the first one. Can Keegan pull it back here? He's looking aggressive though in that back turn. This is where it all counts. Can he lay down? He looks a bit sluggish though. It's not going to be enough.
Okay, it's a .16. So Marcin Rott extends his lead.
That's a great upset. Keegan Wright, former winner of a pump track race in Rotorua, burst onto the scene down there a couple of years ago. That's disappointing for him. He qualified 6th, he was looking good. He will be out. But what a turn up for the books. Marcin Rod,
I'm loving
someone
these.
we don't know a lot about, is through to the next round.
He's unexpected. If you were betting, you probably wouldn't bet on what just happened. We may see a new guy who's kind of following in the path of Thomas Lemoyne, taking the slope style and the dirt jump skills to the pump track. Well, here we go. 2 riders from downhill backgrounds, both with incredible style on the bike. That means they know how to move that thing. They know how to be efficient. So who's going to move out of this round? Bas van Steenbergen on the right side of your screen versus Noel Niederberger on the left.
Even out the gate for both these boys, this is where the pressure comes. Who can withstand the pressure and put down the run? They need to advance here. Neck and neck again, but Noel looks like he's edged a little bit ahead. Is it going to be enough, Cam? He's won that round, and he advances. Noel Niederberg, another upset, going against what we would say the bookies would have as a safe bet. Noel qualified 10th, or Baz only qualified 7th.
Flip your predictions over. Look at them through a mirror, whatever you got to do. Things are not shaking down the way a betting man would expect.
No, that's 2 upsets in a row.
So Bas van Steenbergen hits the shower. Noel Niederberger moves on into the next round. And take a look at the bracket, find out who Noel Niederberger is going to be going up against. It's going to be the winner of this next round between Brage Vestovic and Adrian Lerone.
Adrian, obviously in yellow there, so he's got the lead going into the seat. So he's got a bit of an advantage, but it's not over. Not over until the fat lady sings, as they say.
Well, it's pretty close to singing right there with a 1.26.
She started humming, didn't she?
Yeah, she's tapping on her lap.
Starting a bit of a tune going, yeah.
She's at least getting a beat going.
So Adrian, all he needs to do is stay on his bike with minimal mistakes. He's a seasoned veteran. He's obviously had mistakes in Rotorua, but I don't think he's going to let it happen here in this one. And there you go. Adrian will advance to the next round.
So now, we know that he's a highly skilled mountain biker, but I just look at him and I think he's just on today. I just get that feeling. What are you picking up when you watch Adrian Lerone in slow motion?
Just watch where his head and his eyes are. He's really anticipating every turn and every roller. So by the time he gets there, he's already manualing or doing something to the next one. But again, he's great foot and heel technique there.
He looks loose too. He doesn't look stressed out. He looks calm. Exact opposite of the way we saw him at the pump track race in Rotorua.
Yeah, that's great you brought it up. He's not riding very tight. He seems relaxed. He seems loose. And that's the way to do it. You don't want to tighten up and get tense here in pump track.
Well, memorize these brackets because it's all about expecting the unexpected out here. And we've been seeing some crazy stuff happen, but Adrian Lerone delivering on all the hype we've been building around him. Looks like
it's only 0.59.
Just a familiar face here at Crankworx festivals, but Sylvain Andre, a current BMX world champion. This is a bigger bike, but this is rollers and berms, just like BMX, and he seems to be able to adapt those skills nicely. Well, that's the round of 16 done and dusted. We've moved on. Now we've filled that column there underneath that title of round of 8, and we have our cast of characters. So now we've met up with the size of the field of the women's category. Take a look at who we have competing right now. Our top qualifier was Jill Kintner. Second place qualifier down there at that bottom bracket, Kealani Hines. But just like the men's, it's a long road to meet up.
It is, and like we've seen in the men's, there were about 3 upsets there in a row with guys that were qualifying faster than their guys' competitors, but not making it through the round. So you're never sure that you're going to see your number 1 and 2 in the final.
That's your 2017 Queen of Crankworx right there, Jill Kintner. And now the current standings. The queen from last year still sitting in that top spot. She's going to be racing the woman who's sitting in second place right now, Casey Brown out of Canada. We also have Via Verbeek in the field here for pump track. She's sitting in third currently. It's going to be interesting to see who can get some points out of tonight's event.
That it is such a long season, but you don't want to give up points unnecessarily, because by the end of it in Whistler, you're going to be pretty disappointed if you're only down by 25 points or something and it was one position in one of these pump track races or downhill or whatever it may be.
It's a lot on the line too. Whoever wins Queen, they're going to be walking into the bank with a check, their name on it, from Crankworx, says $20,000.
$20,000.
And you're riding a bike in a circle around a track right now, and it could impact whether or not you're walking into the bank with that check.
Yeah,
no pressure.
No pressure. You're meant to be having fun out here. However, there's 20 grand at the end of the season, so good luck with that.
Well, if you're loving what you see out here, you're a fan of Crankworx, first of all, book a ticket for next year, or just book a ticket for next week. We'll be in Leger, France. We'll be in Whistler in August. But also, go online, buy yourself some merch, so you can look cool like the rest of these people on your screen. Take a look. Extensive worldwide testing, the following are scientifically recognized methods of showing support for your favorite rider. Air horn, vuvuzela, novelty homemade signage, Instagram hashtag, cowbell, thunder stick, screaming. However, studies have shown that fan nakedness has a detrimental effect on athlete performance. And that's why you need this. But you can't get it here. You have to look here. It's also available on site at the best mountain bike destinations on planet Earth. Well, look at all that Crankworx merch produced by Fox out there. You love riding your bike in Fox, you might as well hang out in Fox gear as well. It says Crankworx on it. Michaela Gatto actually designed a lot of those drawings that they used on the shirts. Our own Michaela Gatto.
Yeah, third member of the broadcast team is out there in her off-season at home designing some of those amazing merchandise, so why not pick some up?
All right, well, let's get back to action. Let's take a look at who we're going to be seeing here. We've whittled it down to a field of 8 for the men, and we're meeting up with our women because they are a field of 8. First round is going to be Jill Kintner versus Casey Brown, the current 1 and 2 in the Queen of Crankworx rankings. We got Valentina Hall against Via Verbeek. That's going to be a good round. That Valentina, she's something else.
She really is. She's won for the record books already as a junior, showing some incredible pace. It's almost like a hometown race for her. She's from Austria, doing incredibly well on the downhill circuit at only 16 years of age. So she's going to do a bit of pump track. We'll see her later. But before that, Jill Kintner against Casey Brown. Both amazing bike handlers. Casey Brown, arguably one of the best female athletes on a mountain bike with all the disciplines she takes part in, really.
Now, Casey Brown can do anything on a bike. I mean, downhill racing, enduro. She's doing pump track right now. Free ride. She was out in Virgin, Utah riding the Rampage terrain recently. But Jill Kintner, she's the master of this domain. What's this going to be?
Yeah, I mean, a former BMX Olympic bronze medalist. She has so much experience and wealth. The most wins out of anyone at Crankworx.
Well, Jill Kintner absolutely putting it to Casey Brown by 1.4. Casey Brown may be one of the most well-rounded ladies who's ever thrown a leg over a bike, but pump track is not her specialty. Jill Kintner, like you said, decorated BMX Olympic athlete, incredibly decorated from Crankworx events, dozens of medals. Well, if Jill Kintner is the present, the lady on the left side of your screen right now, Valentina Hall, could very well be the future. She's smashing the junior women's field at the World Cups by over 30 seconds. Placing in the top 5, her time would be placing in the top 5 for the elite women's category, but she's going up against Via Verbeek, somebody who's coming off of injury. It's going to see how strong she is right now.
Yeah, she's one that's going to be in contention for the Queen of Crankworx. Obviously, she's had an injury. But Valentina, I mean, she's catching the attention of likes of Troy Brosnan for her whips. And we haven't seen her in pump track, but from what we're seeing now, she's got some skill.
Well, you can tell, if you can tell that somebody has style on a bike from just watching them do one lap around a pump track, there's something to be said for that. Valentina Hall with the advantage out of that round over Via Verbeek. We got a quick look at that advantage. I think it was somewhere in the .34 region. So a healthy margin. Let's take a look back at the replay.
Yeah, a little slip out the gate from Valentino. But like you said, if you can see someone that has a bit of speed and good style on a pump track, you're pretty sure it's going to translate to any discipline you choose after that. It's a great testing ground for the youngsters out there. Go and get comfortable on a pump track, get those skills up. It's kind of a low-risk place to improve your bike handling.
So there we go. Valentina Hall does what she needs to do to illuminate her name in yellow. She has the advantage. Right now, we're going to move things over to our next matchup.
So Laura Bredhauer, a downhill from Germany, an all-round rider. Again, Morgan Sharp, also a former downhill world champ. Both of these riders coming to pump track. Morgan has noted that she's going to take more emphasis and do more Crankworx events, which is great to see.
That's good for us.
A pretty evenly matched in qualifying, so let's see what they can do. Even through the back turn there. It's going to take some concentration down the back straight and put in that work. It's very even though.
Side by side. Oh, a perfect tie.
We love seeing that. We're going to say it's close, but when we say tie, even closer, guys.
I mean, you could tell when they made it to that back berm, it looked like a mirror image. And when they met here on this final straightaway, I had a feeling we were going to crack that .03 mark, which had previously been our tightest margin. But a perfect tie, I guess we can't improve on that. So let's hear from Michaela Gatto. She's standing down next to both of our fastest riders out of that bracket. Michaela, what are they saying?
All right, that was you tied. I don't know who to talk to first. How's it going?
Yeah, no, it was a tight race, for sure.
And you were racing World Cups, but now you're concentrating more on Crankworx events. Why?
Yeah, I just think it's good fun, good events, and the downhill tracks are really good too. So why not?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And your main focus now is about pump track only, right?
Just pump track, yeah.
Just pump track.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got another round. Winner take all. Who do you think it's going to be?
I don't know.
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're friends with your competitors, right? Well, good luck.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, that's crazy. The next one's just a drag race. We have no differentials to even speak of. That's going to be easy for us and easy for you to watch.
Yeah, easy for the viewer at home. Whoever crosses the finish line first in the next round is up.
All right, on the left side of your screen, Keelani Hines, your second place qualifier out here. The woman we think has a chance to take out Jill Kinner if she can make it through all of her brackets. Right now, she's going to have to get through a huge name in the sport before she can even think about Jill Kinner. This is Tracy Hanna on the right side of your screen.
So, can Keelani Hines get through this round and she'll be on that collision course? But Tracy Hanna, no slouch on her bike. Better known for her downhill, but she comes to the pump track every now and then at Crankworx. But she is a little bit too far behind, so Keelani Hines will easily go through the next round.
Keelani Hines with a 1.22 over Tracy Hanna, looking to deliver on all the hype we've been dishing out for her. Tracy Hanna has another opportunity, but that's going to be a big margin. So Andrew, talk me through her technique right here. What was she doing right to get that 1.34?
Well, she's really aggressive in her upper body as well as her lower body, but you've really got to start on the feet, so she's good at keeping the back wheel planted and really pushing down the backside of those rollers. I know I say that a lot, but it is just key to pump track speed.
Well, when the races are, what, 15 seconds? There can't be too many keys. It's called pump track. Let's not overcomplicate things. You got to be pumping. Well, we're going to roll back to the men right now, pick them up at the round of 8. Ooh, this is going to be a great first heat. Cheney Gounet against Martin Soderstrom.
Yeah, like we said, good news, Martin, you're through the next round. Bad news, you're going up against #1 seed and the winner here last year.
Well, we could see from Martin's last matchup that he is so good under pressure. He had to upset that .04. He did it, and now he's going up against the guy who qualified first. Another high-pressure situation for Martin Soderstrom.
or if any man can get used to the pressure, it's Martin Sonnestrup. His work is going to be cut out. Good start out the gate though.
Oh!
Neck and neck. But I think Cheney's got a little wheel ahead here. He needs to keep pushing, get as much advantage as he can for the next round.
Well, Martin Sonnestrup holding them to 0.18. Very impressive and definitely manageable. Not as manageable as the last differential he had to upset. 0.18 is hefty, but even a guy like Cheney Gunet could potentially make a mistake.
He's doing what he needs to do, you know. Like we said, he's going to maintain a little bit of energy for the later rounds and just needs to keep that wheel ahead.
All right, Benedict last on the left side of your screen against the BMX World Champion, Sylvain Andre. Look at this sportsmanship. Okay, well, they're going to change sides.
Very friendly of them.
That was very formal.
Very formal. I don't think they're going to be that friendly when that gate actually drops.
Well, I hope not.
Well, I hope it drops. We don't want to see another Slavic.
Speaking of, what's our update on that? We have to wait and find out. Sylvain Andre versus Benedict last. Sylvain Andre now on the left side of your screen. No.
That was another interesting technique from our BMX World Champion. He was kind of very low on the seat.
So that was
it going to work though?
Alternative strategy to the slippery salmon.
That it was. I haven't seen it before, and this is such a close heat. That is basically a tie. 0.01 behind the BMX World Champion. I mean, that is nothing, basically a dead heat.
So here's that starting technique you were talking about. He's sitting down. I've never seen anything like that.
No, I haven't. So obviously balancing, and like a BMX start, you'd get a pedal out the gate. Maybe these guys are not willing to risk it.
Well, if when you wiggle out of the start gate to generate speed, it's called the slippery salmon. What do you got for this one?
Well, I mean, they've just got their head. They're hoping that the bike and head kind of leads out the gate. I've never tried something like that. The squatty dog. You can coin it.
Okay.
I've got the slippery salmon.
I got squatting dog.
Squatting dog.
Yeah.
All right, viewers at home, you can tweet us, comment, hate on us on Pink Bike, do whatever you need, but
Please
those are our two coin phrases for the evening. Keep us entertained up here in the box.
I'm going with squatting dog. All right, next matchup, left side of your screen, that's Austin Warren coming from the downhill background, but doing really well out here, qualifying third for this pump track against Marcin Rott from Poland, coming from that dirt jump slopestyle background and turning a few heads out here so far.
Yeah, he upset Keegan Wright. Can he do it again? This is a guy that qualified in 11th, going up number 3 seed. Austin Warren carrying a lot of pace around this track. Seems to be a track that really suits him. Been doing a lot of training at straight aces from what I've been told. It really is showing, even though Marcin Rott is keeping him honest.
Another 0.18 differential right there. Marcin Rott behind Austin Warren. Austin Warren looking really, really consistent today. Calm, cool, collected with a 0.18 advantage over Marcin Rott. Well, as the sun has dipped and it gets a little bit colder, Marcin Rott still wearing the skinny tight shorts. Maybe cutting back on the aerodynamic drag, but look at that man in the gate right now. Adrian Laron, guy who's been looking so chill all day against Noel Niederberger.
Yeah, Noel also upset Bass in the previous round. We need a serious upset here. Adrian hopping into that first rotor. He is out like a rocket though. No slouch though, keeping him very honest on this back straight. What is it going to be? What is the time going to tell us?
You know what? Adrian Laron, 0.32 over Noel Niederberger right there. Adrian Laron is manualing where not a lot of people are manualing. He's got a couple spots where he's dipping his rear wheel into some of those longer transitions, and it really seems to be paying off. Take a look.
So good start and a little hop into the backside that really helped with momentum.
That one.
That is a really good one. After the tabletop, driving those heels into the ground. Forward momentum.
And the last one's coming up right here. That was previous. But it seems like he's got a couple little secrets on this track.
Yeah, and he's not manualing all of them. Some of them he's just doing the normal pump, letting the front wheel. He's pushing front wheel down, then back wheel, kind of getting a double pump. And then once he's up to speed, he knows he can't keep the front wheel on the ground, so he's going to drive that back wheel and those heels into the ground.
All right, well, let's move the focus over to the women now. Jill Kintner illuminated her name. Valentina Hall illuminated her name. Now it's time to take a look at this battle here.
What about Laura and Morjan? They didn't even get to illuminate any names. They were a dead heat.
That is the battle of all battles today so far.
So Casey, all smiles. She knows she's got a work cut out for her, but she's got more events during the week. Jill Kintner as well, leading that Queen of Crankworx title. And she knows it's vital to get as many points as you can in these disciplines that she's strong at, namely the pump track, with her arch rival out with injury.
Casey Brown 1.4 back in this race. She's 140 points back in the Queen of Crankworx ranking currently also.
She's about to go a lot more. She cannot make Jill make a mistake or something like that. She's really going to need to force that out of Jill. I don't think on pure pace she can take Jill down. Jill riding a very smart race here.
Jill Kintner easily moving into that next bracket. We'll wait to see Casey Brown later on in the week in the many different events that she competes in. She's not going to get points on Jill Kintner in this event, but I'm sure she'll be picking some up later on in the week. Well, next matchup, right side of your screen right there, 16-year-old Valentina Hall turning a lot of heads on the World Cup circuit, and Via Verbeek on the left side of your screen.
So Via coming back from injury that she sustained in Rotorua, trying to amass some more points for the Queen of Crankworx. And Valentina, the first showing we've seen, but I mean, that's no surprise, being only 16 years of age. Good start by both these ladies here. Neck and neck in the back turn. This is exciting, and they were very close the previous round. Valentina edging ahead here. That looks like it's going to be enough, and she's happy with that in front of a hometown crowd here in Innsbruck, in Austria.
Well, Valley Hall right there adding to that .34 she had going into that round, making it look easy. A definite phenom in the world of women's mountain bike racing right now. And Michaela Gatto is standing by. Michaela?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So, you're so young, but you're doing so well. This is your first real Crankworx, right? You've done KidsWorks, but this is your first real Crankworx. How does it feel?
Well, it's unbelievable. So much people cheering. It's awesome.
What's your favorite part so far about being here at Crankworx?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I did was pump track. So first time pump track, awesome.
It's going well.
Yeah, for sure.
What else are you doing this week?
I do the DH.
Just the DH?
Yeah.
I say just the DH.
Yeah.
You can see it in her eyes. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, Valentina Hall, you're going to be hearing that name for a long time, but I just learned something. She did KidsWorks, and look at her now, turning heads on the World Cup, and now turning heads at Crankworx this time, not just KidsWorks.
Well, there's many a name in our sport that have done that. Not KidsWorks though, but someone like Troy Brosnan came out as a junior, and he's one of the biggest names in the sports now. But KidsWorks, that's a first, Cam.
Well, she's from Austria, so the crowd's been getting behind her, but let's focus our attention on this next bracket.
This is our dead heat. Laura against Morjan Char, our former downhill world champion, against Laura, who has called out that she is focusing on pump track heavily. She qualified in the 3rd spot. It's all to play for in this run here. It's basically a final for them. Neck and neck out the gate. These two have got to put some pressure on each other to hope for a mistake. Oh, Laura's got a bit of a wheel ahead. But often this other straight is a bit faster. But is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Laura's going to take the win on this heat and go to the next round.
Well, no math needed here. With them tying the first round, it was the first person to cross the finish line. That happens to be Laura Berthauer. She'll be moving on into the next round. Michaela asked her, who do you think's going to win? You know, she was thinking, I'm going to win. She just was being polite.
She was being humble and polite. She couldn't say it out loud. These girls are too nice to each other.
I want to see some rivalries out here.
I definitely do. I mean, I think Caroline that's injured and her and Jill, they smile at each other, but I know there's a deep rivalry here. They just kind of come out and want to beat each other.
Well, what we've been talking about this whole time, we're hoping this shapes up. this battle between Kealani Hines, the woman we suspect might have what it takes to take it away from Jill Kittner, but she has to get through this round. She has a hefty margin. It would take a mistake right now for her to not move out of this round, but anything can happen. Let's take a look.
Yeah, if we can take anything away from Rotorua, where she went against Jill and was ahead in the first round. She's showing that form here against Tracy Hanna. Tracy, great downhiller. She's a little bit behind you. Yep. So Kealani Hines is going to take that win and go again into the next round. And she's into that collision course round against Jill Kittner, hopefully for all of us and everyone at home.
Well, it's shaping up the way we are hoping. We want a rivalry. Hopefully it's going to be between Jill Kittner and Kealani Hines. Kealani looked up to Jill Kittner. Let's see if we can get a little insight from Kealani through our very own Michaela Gatto.
All right, Kealani, so you've looked up to Jill Kittner for years. You just qualified here 0.01 seconds behind Jill. How does that feel?
Feels good. Obviously, when we go racing, we always have more to put out there, so I'm excited to fight to get into the finals.
Yeah, so you came second in Rotorua. Do you think you have what it takes to take that top spot today?
Yeah, definitely. I just got to put it out there when I need to.
Well, I love your confidence and I love your enthusiasm. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, she used the word fight. We said we wanted a rivalry. It's shaping up. She wants to take that win. She was so close in Rotorua. I think she was a little starstruck going up against her idol. And right now, maybe she's had enough time for it to settle in. We may see that final. Well, let's take a look at our men's bracket right now. The names illuminated in yellow, Andrew.
Yeah, that means they're going to take an advantage through this next round that we're going to see. So Cheney Gannett is ahead against Martin. Sylvain, our BMX, is ahead against Benedict. As you saw, Austin Warren and Adrian Long. They are all got an advantage going into this next round.
Well, Martin Soderstrom on the left side of your screen, going up against the winner from run number 1 by 0.18, Cheney Gannett.
Cheney Gannett looking really smooth and calculated to all the rounds so far. He's not looking like he's going to make much of a mistake. Coming through, all he needs to do is keep a wheel ahead of Martin, and he knows that though. He is really riding smooth, calculated, and a very smart race up until now.
Well, Martin Soderstrom fought hard to get into that round against the number 1 qualifier, and he fought in that bracket, but it wasn't enough right there. Cheney Gannett delivering on all of our promises. We still might see that Adrian Lerone, Cheney Gannett matchup in the finals.
We are, of course, hoping for that, but before we get there, Sylvain, our BMX world champion against Benedict Glass. This is all to play for, not much at all in that differential.
Benedict last with as close to a tie as you could possibly get there, 0.01. This is essentially a drag race. Also, that gate didn't drop again.
That is really unfortunate. They're using your, what did you call your technique?
The squatting dog, Andrew.
The squatting dog, Cam. One of them used the squatting dog, the other one just squat and got stuck. Cam, I'm going to let you break this one down.
Thank you. It's my favorite starting technique. This squatting dog goes like this. You know what you do every morning after you wake up? Maybe you've finished your cup of coffee. That's how you sit on your bike and start. Give this guy a newspaper here. Look at this. Well, it definitely works when your opponent's gate doesn't drop.
Then it is by far the fastest technique you could ever use. What I'm getting out of it, it's almost like a speed tuck. However, it has been proven that that only helps when you're over 30 or 40K an hour. And that is not
a static speed tuck.
A static speed tuck.
If we had to define the squatting dog, those would be the words we'd use.
Yeah, squatting dog and or static speed tuck for zero effect.
I got a bone to pick with this rider's right gate right here. This is really throwing a wrench in our programming. But we're going to get this one. We're going to give it another shot here. Sylvain Andre, the current BMX world champion, both using the squatting dog. Will the gates drop? Oh,
no,
come on.
He's not happy with that. All right, guys, we never want to see a malfunction like this.
We might have to resort to ready, set, go. I hear a lot of yelling. That's probably the person who's in charge of the gate.
It is getting quite cold out here. I don't know if the heat affects those magnets.
Can we get somebody to breathe on the magnet, please?
Okay, but jokes aside, Benedict Lars, obviously, there's a lot of pressure on these riders. They just want to get this race done and over with and see who goes through the next round. And this is really going to play into their heads.
Well, look at that guy right there, trying to stay warm now that it's dropping a few degrees. That's Adrian Larone, your 2017 King of Crankworx. Now you may ask, how do you become the King of Crankworx? How do you become crowned that coveted title? Well, there's 4 rounds on the Crankworx World Tour. We go Rotorua, Innsbruck, Leger, and Whistler. There's a total of 30 events where you earn those points. Those points, if you earn the most of them, will give you $20,000 at the end of the year. So there's a lot on the line out here. Points available for pump track, downhill, speed and style, slope style. They all count. And this man right here, he's cracked the code in 2017. He figured it out, but can he repeat? Well, while we allow our technicians to breathe on the magnet on the gate, we're gonna take a quick break, allow them as much time as necessary. Looks like they're working in the right direction right now. I see high fives and knuckles, that's a great sign. Well, while they fix the gate, take a look at our current standings. The guys in yellow have the advantage moving into this next bracket. We've got a whole field of women also. Definitely a lot of drama developing. Will we see the collision course between these riders we've been pumping up so much? It's the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge. Don't go away.
We're trying to make a drivetrain that works better. We're trying to improve upon the things that we had done.
Introducing the all-new SRAM GX Eagle drivetrain. No matter what kind of rider you are or the kind of terrain you might ride, Eagle is simply the best. GX Eagle drivetrains have a range of gears that rival or flat out beat most 2x systems. Engineered in Germany, made for the world. This is GX Eagle.
This is Valley Hole. She's 16 years old. This is what Valley does. This is Valley's RockShox Boxer. It's a fork that's been more than 20 years in the making, which means...
Dat was nog gar niet op de beurt.
But that doesn't matter. We built a new boxer for now. History is most important when you learn from it. Boxer is best when you ride it.
Whistler Mountain Bike Park. Love the feeling of being truly awake.
The right-hand side was not engaging, so Sylvain, a little bit stressful for him. The gate wasn't dropping, but they did a little bit of test runs, and it seems to be working now, so the boys are going to have another rerun. So let's hope that that gate opens.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, third time's a charm. We need both gates to drop in order to have a clean race. Look at this. That's commitment right there. Thomas Slavic.
So unfortunately, Slavic and Sylvain had problems with that gate. That must play into your head. It's really going to hurt the confidence. I feel like this is an important heat because it's basically a dead heat with the differential.
I feel like Slavic was going to have an amazing start right there if the gate dropped. He was fully committed.
He had fully anticipated that gate.
All right. Well, we know we can't blame it on Thomas Slavic now because it's also happened to Sylvain Andre, and it happened
the last
again.
thing you want to happen after all the test runs. Obviously, you've got a little bit too much pressure on the gate, and that latch is getting stuck. When there's no pressure, I'm sure that thing does drop.
Well, BMX world champion, he's obviously no stranger to a gate start. This guy, this guy knows more than anybody.
My word. He's probably done more gate starts than you've changed your underwear, Cam. Though that's maybe
well, I
not
don't
saying
actually
much.
change my underwear very much, but he does probably have a gate
in his back garden.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, BMX world champ, he probably has one in his living room.
Maybe he has one in his car. He could bring it.
Maybe he got one in his trunk. That's a great point.
All right. Are we going to go old school here with the elastic band? Someone holding each other.
I don't know if anybody...
At least they're good sports about it. I mean, he's doing pump track at Crankworx. He's having a good time. He must feel pretty amazing being a BMX world champ. Just crowned a few weeks ago.
Speaking of having a good time, I know one guy who's having a great time because he wasn't expecting to be here. He's here because he won the Crankworx Fantasy Contest from round number 1 in Rotorua. His name is Scott. I got to catch up with him earlier, and Michaela's lucky enough right now to be hanging out with him at this very moment. Michaela, does he have a smile ear to ear on him right now?
He's a lot taller in real life than on the computer. I'm trying to stand up here. So how stoked are you to be here right now?
Oh, super stoked. Like, over the moon. This is just done. Dream come true. So good.
As far as picking riders for Fantasy League, can you give us a little insight? Because clearly you did very well in Rotorua.
Yeah, like a lot of it's got to do with luck. Like I kind of got lucky in Rotorua with someone crashing out. Kind of relying on you pick your top rider and then you try and pick your riders who are consistent and do okay and hope for the best.
How much studying of each rider did you do prior to picking them?
To be honest, none.
Little gut intuition here?
Just, yeah, like going off previous results in Rotorua. Like, Rita, you can't, he's so good there. Like, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely. And now you're in the thick of it in Innsbruck. Do you think that's going to help you as you're playing this time? Maybe win again?
Nah, no way. No way.
I think you're just being humble. So what happens if you win this time?
Going to Whistler, and that's going to be like a fully dream come true. It's going to be good.
Have you ever been to Whistler before?
No.
Oh, man.
This is pretty much my first time overseas, so Aussie doesn't count.
Well, best of luck this time, and we hope to see you in Whistler.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Thank you, Michaela. Those of you at home, take a look at the smile on Scott's face. That could be you. All you got to do is play Fantasy Crankworx. Go to fantasy.crankworx.com. Pay attention to what's going on. You got Pump Track right now. A little too late to build your team if you haven't done it yet, but this is only the first of 4 broadcasts. Tomorrow, we have a whole nother exciting event. Take a look.
Just when you thought it was all about speed here in the Austrian Alps, open wide. Here comes some style. Speed and style together? Hell yeah! 16 athletes racing head-to-head. Love it! Side by side in front of one of the best backdrops on the planet, Innsbruck, Austria. Crankworx Round 1 winner Martin Soderstrom is in the house. But the dual speed and style series leader will have to deal with last year's champ, Jakob Wenzel, and the reigning king of Crankworx, Adrien Laurent. Tune in on Crankworx.com for the Mons Royale Dual Speed and Style Innsbruck, live from round 2 of the Crankworx World Tour. Drink it down and burp it up.
All right, everybody, take what you're learning here right now in the pump track race. This bracketed format is going to be similar to what you'll see tomorrow for that dual speed and style. If you want to be smiling like Scott, build yourself a team for that event tomorrow and all the rest of the broadcasts we have out here in Innsbruck. But hey, let's make an attempt to getting back to racing right now. We still have Sylvain Andre and Benedict last in the gate. And you know what they say, if the third time wasn't a charm, then let's change the phrase. Yeah. We'll now say the fourth time it's a charm.
We won't say any of it. Let's not jinx it, guys. These guys have been up here, they're probably getting cold, they're nervous. There's nothing in it. So you're just hoping for a clean gate here. Let's get these races on track.
So who's more nervous right now, Sylvain or the guy who's responsible for making that starting gate work?
Definitely this. Oh, and you see, barely anticipated that. Sylvain was almost looking the other way. He was too scared to look. And it's showing. I think he's a little bit behind. He needs to really pick it up down this final straight, which he's doing. That is so close.
Sylvain Andre tripping the lights first by an advantage of 0.05.
And that shows you how headstrong he is, coming off the BMX World Champion. Not letting the gate get to him, keeping his composure and delivering when it counted.
Look there, the squatting dog working for Sylvain Andre.
So BMX background, you know he's going to be good on the rollers. The turns is something that's probably new to him, these small, low bank turns compared to a BMX track.
Well, a lot of drama leading into that round right there. And you know, there's only 0.01 separating them before that. And now still less than a 1/10 of a second, less than a 100th of a, you know what I'm trying to say, less than a 1/10 of a second on that one as well. So those riders definitely worked for that one. Sitting in the gate can't be easy.
I don't blame you fudging those numbers. There was barely anything in with those two numbers.
Blink of an eye, let's go to that. So there we go, we're looking at Austin Warren on the right. That is Marcin Rott currently on your screen. Well, now it's Bubba Warren currently on your screen. Bubba on the right, Marcin Rott on the left.
And Austin with the advantage, 0.18. So really not much in that, but a lot to work with here. Let's see if the gate will handle it. Yes, gate is working perfectly. So we are racing here. Austin qualifying third. Can he put it together here when it really is going to start to count in these later rounds? He has the advantage.
Oh,
and there you go, with an advantage and a win in the second heat. Off he is to the next round.
Austin Warren. Now, we talk about the backgrounds of these riders, and typically when we say that a rider has a downhill background, they then drop in and don't typically advance out of their round. But Bubba is an exception to that right now. He qualified third, he's looking great, moving things right along. Is he gonna be the guy to threaten that gold medal at the end of the day? We got Adrian Larone, a guy who owns a lot of these Pump Track Challenge gold medals. He's got to get through Noel Niederberger.
Our reigning King of Crankworx world champion here, Adrian, and our Pump Track champion. Looking neck and neck. It's quite cool and calm, pumping hard down this back straight. That is very close out of these two.
Wow,
that's
look
all
at
he needed to do was keep his wheel ahead. He knew that. Adrian Long will advance. No, keeping him pretty honest to the end there.
Once again, Adrian Larone looking chill. Makes it through yet another bracket. Will he be meeting up with Cheney Gounet in that final?
Well, before he gets there, let's not count our chickens. He's got Austin Warren, who's really showing some incredible speed here on the pump track. Qualified in third, Aiden qualified in second. They're going to be an even match. But before that, Cap.
Semifinals for the women coming up right now. Jill Kintner going against the Youngblood, Valentina Hall. That's going to be a good matchup.
I mean, you know that she's looked up to Jill. I mean, Jill, quite a little bit older than her, but Valentina is obviously not going to care about that. She wants to advance here, doesn't she?
Phenom versus experience. This is going to be a good one, Needles.
Jill is such a fierce competitor. You saw it in Rotorua when Kalani took that little advantage in the first heat. And Jill almost thrived on that. It actually made her ride even faster in the second heat.
Well, they call it Pump Track Challenge for a reason. And it usually takes until the finals for Jill Kintner to find somebody who can actually challenge her But I have a feeling this is going to be a good one right here when she goes up against Valentina Hall.
Yeah, it's a great race format because you almost see the riders get faster and faster. I bet you their final run, if you compare that against a qualifying run, it would be a hell of a lot faster. You're getting more time on the track, you're finding new little lines. And really, lines actually are important on a track like this because there's so little in it. Out the gate, both of them pretty evenly matched. Look for Jill, this is where she's going to start making some time. Quite close to her.
Listen to
Jill
the
needs
crowd.
to push here and get a bit of advantage.
Well, the crowd
There's that
really,
experience coming through.
the crowd's really pulling for the Austrian, Valentina Hall, but it's a .73 differential that she needs to make up against Jill Kittner when they get back to the top and switch sides. All right, next heat, representing the other side of the bracket. On the right side of your screen, well, it's gonna be the left side of your screen. It's the second place qualifier, Keilani Hines.
Another young gun, really looking to upset the record books here and get her first win here tonight. She's got to go through Laura. DH background, but calling out that she's focusing on pump track a lot more, and it's showing. Speed is increasing throughout the evening.
Well, Laura Berthauer making it through that perfect tie that we saw earlier. So we getting a little bit of word here in our headsets about why we may be waiting. I think they're on the wrong sides right now. Yeah, we can see the motioning from our course official there. Let's see if they do a high five or anything on the way through. Remember, we saw that earlier.
We saw it with the men.
What is it going to be? We need to get a separate betting pool on Fantasy Crankworx.
Keilani's having none of that. She didn't even look the same way.
No eye contact.
Game face on.
Yes.
Do we mean business here?
That's what I like to see. I don't know about you.
I like that. We're racing here. Yeah, pump track's fun. The crowd's having a great time. But the races, you know, there's prize money. There's king and queen of Crankworx points on the line here.
There's plenty of time for high fives.
Yeah, after the race, on the podium. Okay, we've got it correct. We've got Keilani Hines on your right, Laura on your left. Gates are working well.
See what they're doing now.
Keilani on the right of your screen with the pink gloves, our number 2 seed. She's riding very smooth and calculated. She knows what she's got to do, riding with experience way beyond her years here.
Well, Keilani Hines taking the cake there by .69. So Keilani looking poised if she happens to meet up with Jill Kittner later on. It's a big drum roll that we've been talking about throughout this entire event, if that'll happen. They both got their names illuminated in yellow, so it's looking that way. But take a look. It's time for the men's bracket on your screen at the moment. Cheney Gounet against Sylvain Andre. That'll be a good heat. When you're down here to the semifinals, there's no such thing as a shoe-in heat. We're gonna have Austin Warren, who's been looking strong all day, against the guy we've been hyping for the win, Adrien Lerone.
No, any one of these matchups could be a final. Take this one, Cheney Gounet against your BMX world champion. He's gonna have his work cut out to him because Cheney has ridden such smooth and calculated races till here. You almost know he's kept a little bit of energy in the tank because he knows what he's got to do to get to the gold medal. He's done it before. Can he do it again and get through another round? So different techniques in the gate here. You're Cheney, more with the hop and anticipating that gate. The BMXer choosing to sit down in your squatting dog technique. And Cheney Gounet is really going to be the man to beat here. We've said it a lot throughout the night, but he's showing it in every single race here. That's a big margin there, 0.5 coming down into his later heats.
Well, Sylvain Andre knows how to win a race. He's the current BMX world champion. But Cheney Gounet knows how to win one of these races. He's won a couple of these Crankworx pump track challenges in the past. He's gonna put that experience to work. But take a look at who we have in the gates right now. Left side of your screen, Austin Warren. Right side of your screen, Adrien Lerone. Now Bubba, Austin Warren has been surprising us all day, but this would be his biggest trick yet.
this might be his biggest upset if he can do it against Adrian Laurent. It's USA against France here in Austria. Adrian Laurent, game face on. Man with a hell of a lot of experience here on punt track. Austin Warren, the young upstart from America. Better known as a downhiller, but he's really showing speed. Little bit sluggish out the gate for Austin. He's got some work cut out for him. Adrian pushing hard. They are about a wheel apart here, but Adrian looking like he's ahead here. Not by much though.
So close. 0.23. Adrian Laurent over Austin Warren. So that's definitely within reach. It looks like a big number, 0.23, compared to the ties and the 0.0 this and that's that we've seen so far, but just look at how close they were when they actually crossed the finish line.
Exactly that. So as you can see in our bracket, Cheney Gannett with the advantage, about 0.5, and then Adrian Laurent at the bottom with his advantage. Collision course to see each other in the final, but it's not there yet.
It is insane. I mean, there's been a lot of unexpected turns of events out here, but both of those collision courses that we were speaking of at the beginning of the show, hoping that they would happen, it's really close to happening. Jill Kinner, Keilani Hines, Adrian Laurent, Cheney Gannett, we could see those matchups in the final. But it all depends on what happens right here. Jill Kinner on the right side of your screen, Valentina Hall on the left. Valentina needing to make up 0.73, can she do it?
She'll need the run of her life to upset Julia with a 0.7 deficit, but putting some pressure on Jill can do it, because pressure is what crumbles an athlete in a race like this.
Well, Jill Kinner will be moving on into the next round. She puts another 0.6 on top of that already large advantage. Jill Kinner will be in the final where she's comfortable. Michaela Gatto is standing by with Jill.
First of all, congrats on advancing.
Thanks, Gatto.
I saw on your Instagram you described competition today as having paper-thin margins. How are the nerves coming into this?
Well, it's pretty fair. I don't know, fair playing. I don't know, it's good. I love having the competition to push me for a perfect run, and yeah, I'm excited.
So you'd rather have the times be super tight than have like a massive advantage?
Yeah, I mean,
you're competitive.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's good for everyone.
So you'd say the competition, the tighter the competition, the more fueled you feel in racing?
Yeah, Gatto, I'm like definitely pushing myself to be as good as I can every run, and you know, that motivation is making it a little bit better, so I got something to work for.
Well, you're on a run tonight, so good luck.
It's a lot harder to always be at the top with no one like trying to push you, so I like it.
Yeah, well, you've been killing it for years doing it, so just
couple more runs to go.
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing.
And Valley's awesome.
Yeah, congrats. Yeah. Thanks, Jill.
Thanks, Michaela. You heard it right there. She says Valley Hall is next. Well, they say it's lonely at the top, but she's going to have some company in the finals. It's going to be one of these two ladies. It's either going to be Keilani Hines or Laura Berthauer. Keilani with a hefty advantage right now, a 0.69. She just needs a smooth run.
And Keilani is talking with confidence. She's not shy or scared to go up against Jill again, like we've seen. But before she gets to that final, she needs to ride a smooth and calculated race here. On your left-hand side of the screen for the viewers at home. Both of them out the gate, very good. Keilani with the pink gloves. Coming out, she just needs to keep it on two wheels here. She's got a bit of a lead already. So all needs to do is just into the finish, nice and smooth for Keilani. And we have what we wanted. The collision course has happened, Cam. We will have Keilani Hines and Jill Kinner in the final, a repeat of Rotorua at round 1 of Crankworx World Tour.
Look at that. Well, that was a great matchup in Rotorua, and now we finally get to see it again. And take a look right now visually how the women's bracket is lining up. It's going to be Jill Kinner and Keilani Hines fighting it out for the gold, but we have more medal to dish out. That bronze medal matchup will consist of Valentina Hall from Austria. The crowd's going to be behind her. And Laura Berthauer also has a chance for that bronze medal. So two great races to go for the women, but back over to the men. Looks like we got Sylvain Andre against Cheney Gounet. Now Cheney Gounet with the advantage right now.
0.5, that is a tall order to be thrown back at the BMX World Champion. But Cam, I mean, if anyone can do it and thrive under pressure, it probably is that man that we haven't seen a lot of in a Crankworx event.
Sylvain Andre there, the BMX World Champion with those yellow sleeves.
Cheney Gounet in white, coming into the finish line. He knows what he's doing. He's just got to keep his wheel ahead, and he does just that. He's through to the final. Winner of that heat, winner of that round, and through to the final.
All right, let's get right into action here. We gotta see the resolution of this matchup here between Austin Warren, wearing the blue on the right side of your screen, Adrian Lerone, sleeveless on the left.
Not a lot in this one, Cam. 0.23. One small mistake on a short track like this, and that could be all she wrote. Adrian Lerone. A mistake in road to road that had him very frustrated and very angry. He doesn't want to make the same mistake here in the semi-final. They're locked and loaded.
Oh!
And trying to anticipate that gate. And he didn't quite get it. So has Austin got an advantage this early in the round?
Oh!
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage.
Wow.
Austin needs to keep pushing here. He's got the advantage, but is it going to be enough, fans?
Oh! He needed 0.23. He only got 0.03. Not enough for Austin Warren, but oh so close.
That shows Adrian's experience. The first bobble that we've probably seen from Laurent, but his experience shone through.
Oh, we got to see a replay of that run because Adrian Lerone dodged a bullet. You saw that little bit of a hiccup coming out of the gate, and then take a look who gets to the back berm first.
So a little bit of bowl. We got Austin. Adrian really impressed me because he kept calm and he had confidence in his own ability to draw it back on that back straight.
Well, Adrian
A
Lerone is
racer of less experience could have easily got too excited and pushed too hard, but Adrian kept calm.
Adrian Lerone is so smooth on that last straightaway. He seems to be picking up speed that other riders are still searching for.
Yeah,
like
great.
you said, just keeping his head on straight. Well, Adrian Lerone will be in that final.
Our bronze medal matchup here at the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge. Valentina Hall against Laura Bredhauer.
Listen to that. You hear the crowd right here. This Austrian crowd is cheering for their homegirl, cheering Valley.
As they should. Hometown here for Valentina. Can she do it? She is the latest thing to downhill for junior ladies, but can she do it here at Pump Track in the elite?
Oh, is that going to be another tie? 0.01. Valentina Hall crossing the finish line by the blink of an eye margin.
Man, that is just absolutely nothing. How cool. Here on the world stage, Crankworx World Tour in front of home fans. I mean, this is a dream come true for Valentina. I mean, she has a million years still to go in this sport. But this is a great, great experience for her.
Valley Hall in her first Crankworx appearance out right now, when you don't include her KidsWorks appearance years ago, she's halfway to a bronze medal right now. We'll get them back up to the top. They'll switch sides, and that's going to be a virtual drag race again. But right now it's all about BMX World Champion with the yellow sleeve, Sylvain Andre, and Austin Warren on the right of your screen. Look at this.
Sylvain, he wants to hear the crowd. He's having a great time here at his first Crankworx appearance. Obviously very relaxed after taking the BMX World Championship a couple weeks ago. Austin Warren showing some great speed in qualifying, narrowly missing out against Adrian Long. Can he do one better than the previous heat and get a bronze medal? Showing good speed here, the rider in blue, Austin Warren.
Oh, he
neck
gets
and
there
neck
first.
against our BMX World Champion. This is where Austin has ridden pretty well in that last heat.
Bubba!
He does it with a mistake from Sylvain.
Wow!
Oh no, 1 second advantage. That is good for Austin. They'll give him some confidence into next heat. Let's see if there's a mistake from Sylvain. It seems so. He was pretty neck and neck. And then Austin just pulled out a big gap before that finish line.
Austin looking for some hardware here, but is that great?
He's lost a bit of his balance there. Went for a big manual, and he just got off balance. He was leaning a little bit too left. The track does kind of slightly veer to the left, and if you get your balance wrong, that's what happened. You ran off track.
That's that ambitious manual line that Adrian Larone's been doing all day.
Yeah, which has worked, but you really got to get your balance and technique on point to do that every run. It's not as consistent as just pushing through the front wheel. Faster, but not as consistent. And that's what you got to do late in these rounds, is take some risks.
Andrew Needling, look what we have here. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We saw the brackets. We saw that they were 1 and 2 qualifiers. We thought maybe they would find each other in the finals. They did. Take a look. Jill Kintner going to be on the left side of your screen, and Keilani Hines on the right.
Man, the racing has been fast and fierce till now, but we hate to say it, we really have been hoping we would seal this.
So let's crunch the numbers on these two competitors right here. Keilani Hines, 20 years of age, and look how many Crankworx wins she has.
She is young, so I don't blame her. She's got 0 though, but Jill Kintner, her veteran, and at 27 Crankworx wins. Is that a typo?
Over 24 Crankworx wins. The time difference between them at Rotorua, they were 1 and 2 then. This is a matchup, a rematch between these two girls. It was only 0.38 seconds. So we've been waiting for this moment for a couple months now.
A couple months, but let's make note, Keilani Hines was ahead in the first heat at Rotorua. So she knows she can do it. She knows she's got the confidence. She knows she can do it. She knows she's got the skill. But Jill thrives under pressure, and this is pressure for her, the final. Both out the gate. Keilani needs to put some pressure on Jill and show her that she's got speed here.
Oh, neck and neck.
This is so good. It's all to play for the first round of this heat. Who's got the wheel ahead here? Was it a dead heat? Wow, Keilani Hines again. Like in Rotorua, we've basically got deja vu here in Innsbruck at round 2. Keilani Hines with the advantage. Bearing it isn't much of advantage, 0.03 Cam.
Well, you know that since Rotorua, Keilani Hines has probably been replaying that moment through her head time and time again. Was she a little bit overwhelmed in Rotorua going up against one of her idols? And now has she had enough time for that to set in? Let's take a look back at the replay.
It was very even in the back straight. Both of them using similar technique. Man, there's not much in it. I can't even say where she gained it. She did a very different technique there to Jill.
Well, that's what's tough is
there's the push-in.
There's no visual mistakes. That's just the fastest run between both of those girls. And it's going to be great to see once they switch sides.
And if we didn't have our fairy tale final here in the women, we have it in the men as well. We are really spoiled tonight.
Well, this is ridiculous. We saw they were on a collision course, just like Hines and Kintner. It's Larone and Gounet. Both of these guys very decorated in this particular discipline, but only one can take the gold medal.
So Cheney Gounet, #1 seed on the left side of your screen. Adrian Lalonde, #2 seed, both out the gate here. Cheney Gounet trying to defend his title here from last year.
Whoa.
He needs to keep pushing though. And we have a mistake from Adrian again. A mistake in Rotorua and another mistake here. Let's hope he's okay. That was full commitment and he's just lost it in the turn. He's okay, fans, sport fans at home. He's up. He's going to be bitterly disappointed, but at least he made it through to the final here. Not like Rotorua where he went out a lot earlier. It's going to hurt his King of Crankworx points though.
Well, we got to take a look back and see what happened. It was that back berm, that left-hander.
So he's coming out very committed. He's looking
inside.
Oh, he's just slid the front wheel. We can't quite see from this end. This will give us a bit idea. He's running very wide. He's got the wheel. The back wheel is on top of the roller and the berm. That is rider error there. He's gone a bit wide out of the first left, and he hasn't got back into the middle of the track there, Cam. And he's just pushed the back wheel over the top of the berm.
You usually see the front wheel go off. It's not often you watch the rear tire go over the berm.
No, he clearly couldn't feel that it was so wide there, and he committed into the turn, and the back wheel just stepped out.
Well, there's a look at where we came from and where we are right now. We've got our bronze medal matchup yet to come. We've got our gold medal matchups yet to come. Will Jill Kintner win? Will Keilani Hines win? Will Valley Hall take away a medal from her first Crankworx appearance? Don't go away. We'll be given hardware shortly.
we're trying to make a drivetrain that works better. We're trying to improve upon the things that we had done.
Introducing the all-new SRAM GX Eagle drivetrain. No matter what kind of rider you are or the kind of terrain you might ride, Eagle is simply the best. GX Eagle drivetrains have a range of gears that rival or flat out beat most 2x systems. Engineered in Germany, made for the world. This is GX Eagle.
We all want to find our own path in life. Push past our fears, our daily twists and turns. If we keep going, something changes. That's when we find ourselves and realize there is no truer path.
Crankworx Innsbruck, presented by Raiffeisen Club. There is something going on. Well, there's something going on, to say the least. We have some medals to give out. We have the bronze medal round for the ladies coming up right now. Take a look.
Can the young gun, hometown hero, take home some hardware to first Crankworx Elite Stop? And she's still a junior camp, but before she can do that, she's got to get through Laura Breithauer, and it is nothing in it. 0.01 camp. They're off in the race here.
Listen to the crowd.
Can the hometown hero take it home? She's leading a little bit. Can she keep it together down this back straight? Will it be enough? Yes, it will, Cam. She goes crazy for the fans here. That is a great race by Valentina Hall.
Well, right now you're seeing a young talent arriving on the scene. She's already arrived on the World Cup circuit, but it's great to see her here participating at Crankworx. We'll see her also for the downhill. Don't miss that. But taking away a medal here, Valentina Hall. Michaela, what's going on inside that young girl's helmet?
Well, from Kids Works to Pro Podium, what the heck? You're missing some steps.
What the fuck? I have no idea.
Well, can't use those words.
Ah, sorry.
You're stoked.
Sorry.
That's okay. She's got to catch her breath. This is a big moment.
Yeah, first time live in TV. Pretty sick.
Yeah. Don't steal my job.
Nah, maybe after my race career.
And how does it feel to be in front of Innsbruck, hometown, well, not hometown, but home country? How does it feel having your fans here?
Yeah, it's awesome. In Austria, first elite podium, unbelievable.
Come on, guys, let's hear it.
Yes. Thank you, Michaela. How cool is it to see Valentina Hall showing up at Crankworx, and listen to the words popping out of her mouth in that helmet. She is psyched, and she can't contain that excitement. I love it.
She's so excited. I'm glad she did the first blunder of the night and not me or you, Cam. But incredible ride by her. We know we're going to see her a lot, but she's already got her first Crankworx medal. But over to the men, we've got another bronze medal to dish out here.
Here we go. More hardware to deliver to one of these riders. Austin Warren on the left. He was the winner of this first run here in this heat by a huge margin. Sylvain Andre had that mistake. So it would take a mistake right now from Austin for Sylvain Andre.
So Austin with a great advantage, a 1 second advantage. He just needs to keep it smooth and calculated here in this bronze medal matchup. He's doing just that. He's keeping his win ahead. And that is a great ride run. Qualified third, and he's going to take that bronze medal over the current BMX world champion.
There we go. Austin Warren pushing Sylvain Andre to make that mistake in their first run of that heat. And it's great to see Austin Warren walking away with a bronze medal. He'll be out here for a lot more events. He's doing speed and style. He's doing downhill. So let's see if he can carry that momentum.
Oh, you can see the huge smile under that full face helmet of Austin Warren. I think that's his first podium in a pump track event here at Crankworx. The matchup we've all been waiting for in the women's camp. Can Kehlani Hines get her first win, or will it be Jill's 11th pump track win and her 28th win of her Crankworx career? Yep, you heard me. This could be her 28th win.
Well, this is going to be a good one. And we saw them face off against each other on the other side of the world, the Southern Hemisphere. When we started this 2018 Crankworx World Tour, it was this same scene, different country. Jill Kinder on the right, Kehlani Hines on the left. And look how tight it was.
This was Jill really thriving under pressure. Jill wasn't going to go home disappointed, and she pulled out all the stops in that second heat after being a little bit down to Kehlani Hines.
And look at this. They're on the same sides of the course. Kehlani has an advantage again, be it a small one. Will Jill Kinder tap into that veteran experience again, or will Kehlani Hines learn from her mistakes and pull something out here?
Jill Kittner, your #1 seed against Kehlani Hines, your #2 seed. Jill Kittner, reigning pump track world champion. Out the gate, very clean by both of them. Jill Kittner on the right-hand side of your screen and Kehlani Hines on the left. Kehlani Hines is keeping her honest, and more than honest. Is she going to do it now?
A little bit.
Jill Kittner looks like she's going to take it.
Oh, wow. 0.22, so Jill Kinder definitely takes the gold medal away from Kehlani Hines again.
That is just such a wealth of experience. It's like she knows exactly what to do and how much to do it when it really, really counts. That is incredible by Jill Kittner.
Well, Jill Kinder seems to have fantastic peripheral vision, always keeping an eye on Kehlani Hines. Michaela, is that her secret? Is she keeping an eye on Kehlani Hines that whole run, or what? How does she calculate it so perfectly?
Oh man, I don't know. So were you keeping an eye on Kehlani? Can you see her out of the corner of your eye when you're racing?
No, you can't really focus on the other person. Gato, come on.
Hey man, I don't know. I haven't done this for a few years.
I just love the moment when you're kind of just like final run in a setting like this. You just pretend you're at home and like all the work you put into it. And it means so much more when there's like such good competitors like Kehlani and Caroline and Danielle actually who had a crash earlier. Feel better, and yeah, it feels so good to win finals, obviously. So,
yeah.
Stoked. Woo.
Yeah, congratulations. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
High fives for Jill Kinder, doing exactly what she needs to do to maintain that status as the best in the world when it comes to pump track racing. Kehlani Hines is going to have to wait another week for a chance of taking the queen off of the throne. But take a look at what we have here. The reigning king of Crankworx, the pump track world champion from last year, Adrian Laron on the left side of your screen against Cheney Gounet. Now let's take a look back at what happened in run #1, bring it back up to speed.
So Adrian Laron pushing hard on that back left turn. He didn't know, but his back was a little bit offline, and he pushed it over the top of the bird. So he went out. Another big mistake by Adrian. So basically, he's going to have to hope for a miracle coming down to this final heat of the final round in the gold medal matchup.
But that's the thing. It's so easy for that same thing to happen to Cheney Gounet right now. this is a difficult situation. It's not go as fast as you can, pull out all the stops. It's basically make sure you don't crash, but stay within 1.3.
And it's a difficult position to be in. It's nice to have the lead, but riding defensive often leads to more mistakes than you want. But Cheney Ganade, he wants to come out with a good bit of speed. Here's where the problem, and you can see him going pretty cautiously there. He knows what to do, and he's backed up his win here from last year to take the gold medal here in Innsbruck for a year 2 in a row.
Well, Cheney Ganade has this course figured out, taking it away from Adrien Lerone, but Adrien Lerone at least getting some hardware out of this event. Rotorua, he walked away medalless, but Cheney Ganade basking in the glory right now. Michaela standing by with Cheney Ganade, your gold medalist, and Adrien Lerone, who's taking away the silver.
All right, here we go. Gold medal again. How does it feel?
It feels amazing, of course. It's cool to get the win again, so really, really happy.
Amazing performance, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know that's not what you wanted, but you're back on track.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy with this second place. I would love to do something better. But you know, Cheney is a super fast rider, and I pushed the limit to beat him, and it was a bit too much, so congrats to him. He did a very good racing day, and I catch him in léger.
Ooh, those are fighting words, boy. Congratulations to you both.
Thanks, Michaela. That was battle number 2 of this World Tour war. We got to take a look at how these standings are stacking up right now after round number 2 of this Pump Track World Championship Series. Take a look at the points.
Well, Jill Kidner with a perfect 300, 2 wins. Kalani Hines, though, in second with 200. Joanna Johnson at 75, and Tina Hall jumps onto the leaderboard with 75. Daniela Beecroft, we heard, had a crash. She's down in 50th. And then Laura Bredhauer also tied 5th in 50th point.
Well, impressive there, Valentina Hall, only competing in this one event, but already sitting tied for 3rd. Let's take a look at the men.
Yeah, Cheney Ganade, no surprise there. With the win here, he's up to 250 points. Thomas Lemoyne went out early, 150. Adrien Lerone bouncing back. He's got a 140 points. We go down the list with your Austin Warren, Michael Byers, Martin Sonnerstrom, who we saw earlier, Kyle Strait we'll see in speed and style, and Sylvain bumps onto that leaderboard, our BMX world champion.
So each one of these stops, valuable points up for grabs. We will crown a Pump Track World Champion in Whistler once we've had all 4 of the rounds in the books. But this is just the start for round number 2 here in Innsbruck, Austria. Stick with us all the way through the weekend. Tomorrow, we have another great event for you, another massive display of bracketed racing action, this time with tricks. It's called the Dual Speed and Style, presented by Mons Royale. Check your local listings, calculate your time conversions, and don't miss it. Well, what an insane race, Andrew Neethling. Final thoughts?
I'm just so impressed that we got to see our fairy tale finishes with Cheney Ganade backing up last year's win, and then Jill Kidner's just so amazing under pressure. That's just so impressive that she can bounce back every time in the second round.
Well, it's rare to see your 1 and 2 qualifiers from the men's and the women's meeting up in the final. Plenty of surprises in the middle of the field out there. But look at that, it just heats up. We'll crown a world champion for Pump Track at the end of this world tour. That was the RockShox Innsbruck Pump Track Challenge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for Dual Speed and Style.